Hey everybody, I'm John. Welcome to another edition of Zone 1 Beer Club. And this afternoon we're going to be looking at one that picked up Friday down in Louisville at a new place we got in there called Total Wine and More. What we're going to be looking at this afternoon is one that made Cincinnati famous. Hudepohi, pure lager beer. This was one time made in Cincinnati, and I believe now it's contracted up in Pennsylvania. But picked it up. I think $1.29 for a 12-ounce bottle. Pretty cool looking label, you know. It's when the brewery first started in 1885. So I've not had one of these for God, I don't know how long. It's been a number of years since I've had one of these. So, but I've seen them. I thought, what the heck, man? Let's grab a couple of them and try it out. And, hey, let's throw one up here on the old YTDC. So, but, you know, it's a pretty good lager. Cool looking bottle. You can tell the label's a little off on it. You can see it's higher on one side than it is on the other, but that's no big deal. But, you know. But you know, this is a good beer. It's not an expensive beer. Like I said, $1.29 for a 12-ounce bottle of it. Hudepohi. This beer's been around since 1885. They closed for a while, and somebody bought it, and they recontracted it out. You know, so I don't know if this is the original product or not, but I'm gonna say it's pretty close by the way it smells and tastes. But you know, I mean, a lot of people kind of walk past these beers like this and overlook them. But you know, and I walked by it a few times over the past few years, and you know, I've seen the new label out, and I thought, you know, I got to pick this up and do a review because you know, these are going to be beers that one day probably people just not going to do. They're not going to do them anymore, and somebody's got to carry on the tradition of bringing people these beers on YouTube. And this is not going to be one of those beers that's for everybody. They're not going to be. But for me, they're the beers that I like to do. And I could walk back here and get 35, 40 different craft beers and do a review on them. But that's not what I want to do. I mean, I got time when I do my craft beers. I got time when I do these beers. And craft beers usually for Thursday nights and Saturday nights. And the other times are for beers like this that somebody, like I said, somebody's got to carry on the homage of these beers and pass these beers on, and I want to be that guy to do that, you know. This looks like a nasty looking lager, but it's pretty good. I mean, the smell's good, the lager's there. It's nothing over the top, you know. It tastes like, it doesn't have that Budweiser lager taste. It doesn't have the Miller taste in it. It just tastes like what Hudepohi's supposed to taste like, an old school beer that before craft beer come along, these are the beers that everybody thought was cool. Now the craft beers come along all these years later, people's going to overlook these beers and go, oh, I can't drink that anymore. But for people like me and a few others on YouTube, we want to carry on that tradition of beers like this and bring them to you. And for the newer viewers on YouTube and the newer subscribers and the people that, you know, that walk down the beer aisles and look at all the craft beer, and then they come to these and go, let me see what I can come up with on this. So, but you know, I mean, I'm not a big fan of Rate Beer and Beer Advocate. I've posted that on many videos, and I don't think it pays homage to a lot of beers, and a lot of times it doesn't even pay homage to the craft beer industry. But yeah, I don't think you need to, you know, don't get on Rate Beer and Beer Advocate and look at a beer. To me, if you want to get on a site and see a true review on a beer, a lot of times you don't, but more times than any you do, is get on Untapped. I'm a big fan of Untapped. I untap a lot of beers. And I think that's where you're going to get your true reviewer that's going to give it an honest, because, you know, I mean, that's what it is. I mean, it's a beer from the past. You know, I guess I could sit and review this beer and do smells and tastes and all that stuff, but, you know, it's just an old school lager beer. It tastes like an old school lager beer, and it's what you get out of it is what you're going to get out of it. And I get a lot out of it, you know. It's looks like a traditional old school lager that we drunk before the craft beer industry, and that's what you're going to get out of it. So, you know, I mean, it's quite enjoyable, it's quite refreshing. Am I going to buy it again? You're dang right I'm going to buy it again. I'm probably going to buy more than one this time. So, but, you know, I mean, Hudepohi, they make one called, which is the pure lager, what I got here. They make called a Hootie Delight, which I have one of those I'll probably throw up here and do a review on. They also, I believe, make an amber, and they also make one called a 14K, which I've had a few times. I've not had one. I've not seen one for a while, and if I see one, I'll definitely try to pick it up and do a review on that. But, you know, this is a thick beer. I don't think it doesn't taste like one of those old adjunct type beers that you're going to get. But it's definitely got sweet. It's thick. It's not dry. It's just a good typical old school beer is what I call them. But you know, I mean, take what you want, get what you want. I mean, I'm that guy. I've never been any more than a beer drinker, and I'm never going to be any more than a beer drinker. I could sit here and go on and on and on about this and that beer, but I study beers. I don't just study craft beers, because I don't like studying craft beers. I like studying these beers, malt liquor type beers, cream ale type beers. That's what I do. I sit down of a night and on my MacBook, I'll have my MacBook going, I'll have my iPad going, I'll have my iPhone going, and I'll be looking, I mean, just going back and forth because I enjoy these beers. I try to pay homage to these beers. I try to look at these beers for what they are, and I believe very much in these beers, and that's why I do these reviews, for that fact. Because one day there's not going to be a lot of people reviewing these beers, but right now it seems like the people are. They're still paying homage to these beers, and I see a lot of people coming up, a lot of new reviewers coming up on the YTDC that are doing these, and not a whole lot of reviews on this beer on the YTDC. There's some for, you know, the Delight, and there's some for the Amber, but there's not a whole lot for the Lager. So, but you know, if you can find this one, definitely pick it up. It's worth a try. If you like drinking beers that are pre-craft beer, if you like drinking beers that are old school type beers, old school type taste, this is definitely one that I think you're going to want to pick up. You know, it's definitely one that, yeah, I mean, I should have bought more of them, but I've not had it for a while. I wanted to try it, and yeah, it's definitely a one that you can session a few back on, and hey, but you know, Hudepohi made Cincinnati famous. I'm John, Zoneone Beer Club. Hudepohi, pure lager. Get it, drink it, pay homage to the old school stuff. Don't be scared of it. I'm out of here.